Baltimore remains in a state of emergency after violent protesters stormed the city overnight. Multiple fires burned while riots flared after yesterday's funeral for Freddie Gray.
Volunteers are now working to clean up the aftermath as officials, including the mayor, call for an end to any violence. Sherrilyn Iflll is the president and director counsel of the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund. She joins us now by phone. Sherrilyn, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So the president of the NAACP said this morning on CBS, quote, "We have to send a signal that we are going to push for a relentlessly fair, transparent investigation." How do you see this investigation playing out?
Well, I should first of all let you know that the NAACP and the NAACP Legal Defense Fund are two separate organizations, but I certainly on this stand united with that call for transparency and accountability in the Freddie Gray case. I think that one of, the great concerns is that the attention to that case will be lost as people respond to the unrest that happened last night. None of us were happy to see the kind of outbreaks that broke out yesterday. It's very, very sad, and very sad for those of us who care about and love the city of Baltimore. At the same time, we recognize the level of frustration that has built up in that city, not just about the case involving Freddie Gray, but about so many cases and so many issues where particularly young people feel completely disenfranchised, feel disrespected by the police, feel that their voice in their life has no value. So the best way to respond to that, I think, is to demonstrate the commitment to fully redressing the death of Freddie Gray, being transparent about what happened to him, why did the police approach him, why was he arrested, how was he injured, and bringing that all out to the public as clearly and as swiftly as possible.
Sherrilyn, clearly this is a tough and fluid situation to be in. Some are questioning how the mayor has handled things so far. What's your reaction?
Yeah, I find it very interesting. I mean, I have myself already been critical of the lack of transparency the first week after Freddie Gray's arrest and during his injury while he was still in a coma. We really did not get the kind of communication from the mayor and the police commissioner with residents of the city until after Freddie Gray died. But I think since Freddie Gray died, there really has been a very strong effort to communicate and to be transparent. With regard to what happened yesterday, there's a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking going on. I think a lot of what people learned from Ferguson is that it's important that police officers not overreact. And I think that's what Mayor Rawlins Blake was trying to communicate yesterday, that she was determined that the Baltimore police would not overreact to protests when she talked about giving them room. So I'm not really sure what the basis of all of this criticism is of the way she handled it yesterday. It was a volatile situation. Whichever way you turned, it was going to be difficult. One of the things I find so intriguing is how much attention is being focused on the mayor of Baltimore and her reactions. When in Ferguson, most people still don't know the name of the mayor of Ferguson. There was almost no attention. The only question people asked was, what should President Obama do? Here we have a mayor who has been hands-on and who has stepped up and taken responsibility for what has occurred in her city. As I said, I was certainly critical of the failure of the mayor to be more transparent in that first week. But as for yesterday, I think yesterday was a situation in which there were no winners.
What do you mentioned President Obama? I'm curious, he is scheduled to speak and will likely be asked about this at the White House today. Is there something that he needs to say? What would you like to hear him say?
I think that the president's power and what I always want from the president in this and other circumstances like it, beginning with Ferguson, is that he used the power of his office to deal with the issue of police violence against unarmed African Americans. And that power is exercised through the Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice has been, since Ferguson, firmly committed to the issue of dealing with police violence against unarmed African Americans, whether it's in North Charleston, in Ferguson, or in Baltimore. Baltimore actually has been part of a collaborative review process of the police department since last year. It was actually called for by the mayor of the city and the police commissioner. So the Department of Justice has been involved, and I've spoken with senior folks at the Department of Justice since yesterday, and I know that they intend to be even more intensely involved. In fact, several senior members of the Department of Justice will be in Baltimore today. So that's, the president needs to, and I suspect will, communicate that. It is not about what the president says in terms of some kind of rhetorical flourish. It's about using the executive power, the power of the administration, to demonstrate that they take seriously this problem of police violence against unarmed African Americans and ensuring that the Justice Department remains engaged. One of the issues that I think many of us are concerned about is ensuring that the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department has sufficient resources to be able to investigate these cases. It's not just the 3 or 4 cases that have gotten a lot of attention over the last 6 months. We have 30,000 police departments in this country, and we need the Department of Justice to have the resources to fully investigate many of them for patterns and practice of discrimination that violate our civil rights laws. So that's one of the things I hope the president will do, is to use that bully pulpit to talk about the importance of ensuring that Congress provides the resources that we need to investigate these police departments and to fully look at all of the issues of discrimination that are unfortunately too common in this country.
All right, Sherrilyn Iflll, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.